Hi there, guys. Here I am for another review of For Fuckers 31 Days of Creamy Orchidness. I'm sorry for my voice sounding a little bit like that. It's a weird thing. Hopefully it sounds better than my normal way I speak. Um, so yeah, in this video, I'm gonna be talking to you about a film called For Fuckers 31 Days of Creamy Orchidness. And the film spawned a film that I consider to be the worst film in my humble opinion, and that was Day of the Dead 2 Contagion. And this film's remake I kind of like due to the pure terribleness of the film. Now, this is Day of the Dead, which is 1985, unrated 96-minute film, horror film that came out July 19, 1985. Now, this is the third installment of the mixed bag that's called the Romero's of the Dead series. The first one was Night of the Living Dead, which I kind of like, but I find it kind of overrated. I like it, but it's overrated. It's an overrated film. Yeah, because people keep on talking about it, and it just kind of aggravates me. That people keep on talking about it. It's not that much of a classic, but it's still a pretty decent film. Then you got Dawn of the Dead, which I liked. I liked that film a hell of a lot better. It had more action scenes. It was just a more solidly made film in comparison to Night of the Living Dead. And Night of the Living Dead started a whole entire series of its own, unintentionally, with actually two. You had your Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead 30th anniversary cut, which John Russo collaborated to put that together, and then that version spawned a sequel called Children of the Living Dead, which Fateless, funny fucking reviewer, done his review of that film and the 30th anniversary cut, which I'm interested in seeing the 30th anniversary cut of that film. And anyways, that film also started its own series with Return of the Living Dead, which only seen the first one, and saw the first few minutes of the second one. But anyways, other than that, you had and then you had that own series was part of Return of the Living Dead 3, 4, and 5. Then after you had your Return of the Living Dead 3, 4, and 5. You get to Dawn of the Dead, which had an unofficial cut that Lucio Fulci, I believe made his own cut, which spawned its own group of sequels with Zombie 2, which is one of the better unofficial sequels, which unofficial sequels tend to be bad in comparison, or not even good at all. Then you had Day of the Dead, which we're about to do a quick little review upon. And Day of the Dead spawned Day of the Dead 2 Contagion, which is the worst film I've seen, with two incredibly terrible hacks to the horror film industry that disrespected the legendary artistry of George A. Romero. And then you had Land of the Dead with with George A. Romero, which didn't spawn anything, but it was pretty decent. Then he had Diary of the Dead, which I didn't really care for much. At least we could say that there was a. Yeah, I think that was in between like Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, I believe. Then you got Survival of the Dead, which is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Terrible performances. But I will always like. When I look back at the series, I look back at Dawn, Day, and Land. I know I just count, despite me having saying that Land is decent. Land still kept me somewhat entertained, and still had quite a few things going for it. Like Dennis Hopper, great actor. And yeah. Now, Night of the Living Dead had multiple sequels, a 3D film with Sid Haig, and then one that Tom Savini did, which is cool. I haven't even seen any of those ones. I've seen the Dawn and Day remakes. The Dawn of the Dead remake, I think is overrated. I didn't really care for much. But the Day of the Dead remake is just for the mere fact that it isn't a good film. It isn't a good film. And because of that simple fact, I enjoyed it because it was not a typically good film. Steve Miner from Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2 fame did that. And maybe at one point I will do the whole entire analog retrospective where I get in deeper detail about the Night of the Living Dead and its legacy upon other things like the Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead legacy, where it started Return of the Living Dead, Children of the Living Dead do its own thing. Who knows? Then once dawn comes, then do the Joe Fulci zombie films. And then, so on and so forth while they do their interlocking thing. Anyways, I'm sorry I keep on trying to detract. Day of the Dead is a film about these people who the world has already gone to shit. And you got these people. You got Joe Pilato playing Captain Rhodes, who's a villainous guy. And he does his attack, he does his moves. He says, "I want my men safe." And I think that's pretty cool. And then, you just got your claustrophobic feeling. You just had some very tame and very good dialogue. And I think that this is, out of the Romero's Dead films, I'm more preferential to Dawn of the Dead, but out of the three ones that I actually kind of give a shit or like to a certain level, I would definitely put Dawn of the Dead above this film because it has more going on in it. And I think that this film has a terrific vampire equivalent to it in Dracula 2 Ascension. So if you want to watch a vampire equivalent of this film, watch Dracula 2 Ascension. If you want to watch a vampire equivalent to Dawn of the Dead, watch Dracula 2000. If you want to watch a vampire equivalent to Land of the Dead, watch Dracula 3 Legacy. That is basically the easiest analogy for vampire films. And I I know that these have nothing in common, but the Dracula 2000 films trilogy is the vampire series, the vampire equivalent of the Evil Dead series, in a way, But that has nothing to do with Romero's Dead series. I'm just spouting out some nonsense there. But yeah, I like Day of the Dead. It's a good film, and I hope that you enjoy many more of these reviews. And I'll be back tomorrow with another review. We have about 5 more days of this left. And hopefully I find some more material to do a review upon. I'm going to try my best not to do any Halloween related stuff. It's going to be really difficult because I don't really have any new material to do a complete review upon. But hopefully I do find something I could go on, like YouTube. I'll go on YouTube and find like one of those public domain movies that I started out this year's fuckers 31 Days of Cream Goodness with like a full like House on Haunted Hill, the 1951 film with Vincent Price, and hopefully I'll find something to do a review upon that's new and fresh. Yeah, I hope that I could find it something new. I already have my last review for this year's picked out as Lords of Salem, so be expecting that around Thursday. And Thursday. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. This is a more thorough, better video than the previous videos where I just watched some shitty ass movies in that terrible 20 film pack with very limited amount of films. And Creepshow 2, man, oh man, that's a great film. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you more with more quality like this one. Sure, I didn't really do a good enough review of the film itself and just got on to a whole bunch of different tangents, but I think that that's pretty good. Thank you guys for watching and have a good night. Goodbye.